go any further in this video, I just want to say to all of my subscribers, all of my viewers, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't deserve whatever is inspiring you to watch me in these videos, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I recently went over 300 subscribers, and it seems like a small number to some people out there, but for me, it's a very big number. I'm very happy, and I'm very thankful for all the support that I've gotten. You guys are really awesome. In response to me going over 300 subscribers, I said that I was going to do a Q&A. I was going to answer questions. I was going to lay it all out on the line. Pretty much everything is on the table. Nothing is off limits. And even though I'm probably going to regret this in some way, shape, or form, I still said I would do it. So here's the Q&A. Here are the questions that you guys sent to me on Facebook. Let's kick this shit off the right way, starting with a really good question. If you could meet Christopher Reeve, what would you say? Pretty sure my friend Chris gave me this question. Man, that is a good question, honestly. Christopher Reeve is such a big part of my childhood. He's such a big part of my love of Superman. I probably would just tell him that he is a national treasure and that he is one of the biggest influences on me in terms of my love of cinema. It was him and Star Wars. Those were like the biggest things for me growing up. I would just thank him for that. Thank you for inspiring my love of cinema. I really appreciate it. What is your favorite Arrowverse character? Favorite Arrowverse character or characters, I guess. I'd probably go Barry, Oliver, Cisco in no particular order. I also love Diggle, but I'm probably going to go with those three. Most embarrassing thing you've ever jacked off to? God, I can't believe I actually have to answer this shit. Okay, so when I was a kid, and before I discovered porn, I touched my dick to things and I played with my dick because I thought that's what it was for. Outside of using the bathroom, I thought you were just supposed to play with the shit. And so, some stuff happened, and then I experienced some things, and I saw stuff, and Black Barbie. To be honest, I don't really want to divulge any more than that. I'm just gonna leave you with that. I really can't say much more than that, but chocolate cream filling. Who do you want the villain to be for Man of Steel 2? Boy, that's an interesting Brainiac. I want Brainiac. It's been a long time. I want Brainiac. Why haven't we seen Brainiac on the big screen? Brainiac. I heard that in that Superman Returns sequel, they were going to do a sequel to the Brandon Routh Superman back in the day. I heard that Brainiac was going to be the villain for that. I hope we see Brainiac in the Man of Steel 2 sequel. Brainiac is like one of the best villains. He's one of the best Superman villains ever. Of course we got to get Brainiac. What made you want to become a reviewer? Well, honestly, like I said, I've had a love of cinema from a very young age. I've had a love of a lot of things from a very young age. And I would say that my first love was writing. Like, I wrote rhymes in high school. I was a pretty damn good rapper. And then that just kind of turned into, oh, well, movies. How about I just combine my love of writing and my love of movies, and I'll just write reviews. And so I spent a couple of years or a year or two or whatever on Facebook writing reviews for movies that I seen. I was a big supporter of Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Jahns. Those were two of my favorite YouTubers. I love Jeremy Jahns and his passion as a fan of the movies, and I love Chris Stuckman in the way that he broke down film. And so I just decided, hey, well, I could do that. It'd be pretty cool to get in front of a camera and tell people how I feel about movies, because it's one of those things where it's hard to have legit conversations with people about something like this, like something that you love so much, and it's just hard for people to understand how much you love it. But I saw those two guys doing it, and I was just kind of like, yeah, well, sure, why not? So I gave it a go, and here we are, 300 subscribers later. Rank the seasons of the Arrowverse. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really give two shits about Legends of Tomorrow, although the second season was pretty cool, I guess. And Supergirl, I saw the first season, and then I kind of gradually lost interest in the show as it went along. But I will say, probably I would rank it season 2 of Arrow first, and then I'd go season 1 of Flash second, and then I would go probably Arrow season 5. I thought Arrow season 5 was pretty badass. And Arrow season 1, and then I'd go Flash season 2, and then I'd go Flash season 3, and then Arrow seasons 3 and 4 are just at the bottom of the shit pile. Favorite music to listen to? I like all kinds of music, but my favorite music to listen to is rap, hip-hop, all that stuff. I grew up with that music, so that's just kind of always been a thing for me. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z. What do you dream of doing in the future? Short term, I hope to be the most handsome, charismatic, awesome sauce movie reviewer that YouTube has ever seen. Long term, though, I really want to settle down with the woman of my dreams. I feel like I can have the best of both worlds. Best and worst film of the 2010s so far? Wow, that's a tough one. Probably the worst movie, it's maybe Jack and Jill. I mean, I think that was probably the biggest pile of shit that I had seen since the 2010s started. I'm pretty sure that came out in 2011. It's hard to come up with the worst. It's even harder to come up with the best. I would probably say the best movie I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years at least is Spotlight, but I don't even know if that's my favorite. That's probably not my favorite film. I know it's a cop-out, but it's just really hard to answer that question. So you're stuck with Jack and Jill and Spotlight. Those be the breaks. Is there a shared universe, film or TV that you would like to see? Yes, I want John Wick to meet the Punisher. It doesn't make sense, and I know it's not going to happen, but I want John Wick to meet the fucking Punisher. Make it happen, somebody out there. What comic character should have their own movie? I'm torn between Green Arrow and Martian Manhunter, but since we do already have a TV version, a successful TV version of the Green Arrow, and I do know that Martian Manhunter showed up on Supergirl, and he's okay in that show, I guess, but I kind of want to see a Martian Manhunter. I want to see a literal alien version of Superman, or at least a more alien version of Superman, which is what Martian Manhunter has always been for me. You wake up in Metropolis, what's the first thing you do? P.S. You wake up as Perry White. You tell the intern that I'm banging to plan out the rest of my day ahead of schedule or something, or I would call Lois and bitch at her about something, because, you know, Lois is always doing something in these universes that's worthy of being bitched at, so yeah, that's probably what I'd do, or I'd just go back to banging the intern, the hot intern, whoever it is, I don't know. Which one of your subscribers is pure sex? I know for sure that this is Mark Role, aka Sweet Potatoes. I know that this is Mark. I know that this is his question. It's you, Mark. Obviously, you're the definition of pure sex. That's what you wanted to hear, right? You feel better now? Yeah, you're pure sex. That's how I answer your question. If you guys are DC fans or just fans of funny shit in general, you guys should check out Sweet Potatoes' channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. He's got some really good stuff. He's a really cheeky bastard. And again, he's a big fan of DC. So if you're a fan of DC, check that shit out. You won't be disappointed. Top 5 worst films ever. It's tough because there's so many shitty movies that I've seen in my lifetime. I'm pretty sure that Superman 4: Quest for Peace would be somewhere up on that list. Probably the 1998 Godzilla. God, I hate that fucking movie. Maybe Titanic. Yeah, Titanic. I'm not joking either, but that's, again, a video for another day. I don't know, there's so many, like I said, you could just take some shit from the last few years, like the 50 Shades movies, I don't know. I'm just saying, there's room for all of the shit in the world. What drew you to DC besides Superman? Pretty sure the thing that drew me to DC the most besides Superman is the mythic and gritty way that DC tells their stories. I mean, it just seems like all their characters and their stories are told from a larger-than-life perspective with these big mythic ethereal beings. And the storytelling is not only very layered, it's also very gritty. And there's just a lot of things in DC comic book lore that just appeals to me from that standpoint, not just Superman. What is your opinion on the future of DC's streaming service? I'm actually really fucking excited because I'm a DC stan. I'm a DC fanboy. I love everything DC. So if they're coming out with a streaming service, I'm signing up day one for that, of course. I think it's going to be really great. I'd love to see a whole bunch of the older DC shows on there. Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series. Pretty much want to see it all. Teen Titans, if it was on TV in DC form, I want to see it on the streaming platform, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get it. Superman kicks you in the balls. Do you take it as an honor or assault? I'd probably take it as I'd be fucking dead. I'm pretty sure that's what would happen. I'd be dead. I'm not gonna survive Superman kicking me in the butt. He'd probably kick my nuts all the way up through my body, out through my mouth. It's the only way that I would ever suck on my own nuts, but that's basically what Superman would do. I don't take it as either honor or assault. I take it as the morgue. Why is Gal Gadot your dream wife? I'm aware that this question came from my friend Kalela. Great question, Kalela. Honestly, this could probably take an entire other video, but I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Gal Gadot, I always thought she was this skinny, hot chick from, like, pretty much every other movie ever, especially in the Fast and Furious franchise. I really liked that franchise. Her character was, you know, whatever in those movies. She was fine. She did her purpose. Wasn't really that special. But then I heard she was being cast as Wonder Woman, and I was like, I don't know. I don't really see her as Wonder Woman. We'll see how it goes. Then I actually saw her as Wonder Woman, and then I saw her in the trailer, and then I saw her in BVS, and I was just kind of like, oh my god, I'm in love. She just perfectly embodied and captured my favorite female superhero ever. And from that point on, it was just kind of like I became obsessed with her. And it's become a thing. And now we're happily married with 3 kids. And I do have other dream wives. I'm just saying Gal Gadot she's it right now. Don't worry, Trina. I'll be back for you later. Is there a particular story arc from the comics that you want adapted into an animated movie that has not been yet? A tough one, and no, Red Sun. Definitely Red Sun. I want to see Red Sun. Let's do it. Red Sun. That's my answer. What is your favorite thing about Henry Cavill's Superman so far? I would probably say my favorite thing about Henry Cavill's Superman is his humanity. his unrelenting humanity, his ability to somehow be a god with all these powers and still go through the same everyday doubts and fears and shit that we as normal people go through. And that's the Superman that I've seen from the comics. That's the Superman that I've always connected with the most. And I like that shit, and I like the fact that they've portrayed it in this way on screen. I know some people don't, but that's just how I feel about it. What character would you love to play in a movie or a voiceover? Oh, this one is easy. I'd either want to play Chef from South Park, or I'd want to play Shaft. It'd be one of those two. Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth and suck them. If you became an iconic actor, would you change the world with your famous status? Kind of a deep question. This comes from my friend Tim Ryder, I'm pretty sure, on Facebook. You guys know him as the legendary Facebook troll. But to answer the question directly, yeah, of course. I mean, if I had that kind of platform, if I had those kind of resources, if I had that kind of reach, I would absolutely do everything in my power to try to make the world a better place. Because after all, that's what Superman would do. Hell, that's what Jesus would do. But yeah, Superman. Superman would definitely do that shit. So I would owe it to him to try, at least. What's the best time you got lit, and what was the substance? I'm probably not gonna tell you guys about that time that I tried cocaine, which, spoiler alert, it's actually not that bad. I will talk to you guys about the time that I got high for the first time, because I don't smoke weed. I don't really smoke anything. But the first time that I smoked weed, we smoked some really good shit, and we got really high, like to the point that I was afraid to walk anywhere after that because I was afraid of knocking things over, even things that weren't really there. It was weed. I'm just not really sure what kind of weed it was. The shit was loud. Do you game, and if so, what is your favorite console? Yes, I game. No, I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm much more of a casual guy with it. Yes, I do have a favorite console. It's pretty much anything with PlayStation in front of it. What's your favorite anime of all time? Inuyasha. Next question. Who's your favorite DC villain? Darkseid? Yep, pretty sure it's Darkseid. And finally, what's worse, Resident Evil Final Chapter or Paranormal Activity, the marked ones? Good question. Definitely Resident Evil The Final Chapter is worse, because at least with Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, it's so bad that it's like a forgettable kind of bad. Like it's really bad and really shitty, but I barely remember anything about the movie other than the fact that I hated it. With Resident Evil, you can't forget it because it makes your eyes bleed. All the shit that they stuff on screen and the way that they edit and shoot that film, your eyeballs are bleeding. And it just hurt, and it was painful. And I don't want to ever watch that movie again, and I'll unfortunately always remember it. So yeah, Resident Evil, that's worse. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, thank anybody for checking out my videos, and thank you to all of you wonderful, awesome people who have subscribed to me. Please spread the channel, spread the good word, bring more people into the nation of Krypton. If you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!